await no longer. Greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. And before we begin this episode, I want to make sure that I thank all of our patrons over at patreon.com/makeusbetter, because you guys truly do make us better week in, week out. Without your support, the show wouldn't be here. So thank you all so much. And I need to give some verbal shout outs to our platinum producers, Mr. Corey Hicks over at twitch.tv/chicks_18, and Mr. Mark Moody from the Glorious Movie Show. I was on his podcast this week. Check it out. We had so much fun. And then our gold producers, Sheldon Benedict, Tony Baker from A Quest for Pixels. Those guys are amazing. And our executive producers, Dude427, Martini Jean, Aaron Doherty, David Ray, Jesse Armstrong, Joe Brooks, Jesse Johnson, Nick Militia, Tim Ulf, which is our newest executive producer. Thank you so much, man. It means so much. And now, with that said, Kyle, what have you been playing this week, man?
Oh, man. I conquered what might possibly be my favorite game of all time. I have gotten the platinum in God of War.
Oh, so you feel the same.
I love that game so much, but while I was going through and getting the Ravens, knocking them out, and the treasure maps, the Raven thing, because I was complaining to you about it last night. So I was going through. That would piss me off too, dude. That would piss me off so much. I was going through everything, and I waited until after I beat the game before I actually looked at the guide I bought with it.
Oh wow.
So I was going location by location, getting out all the Ravens, until I was like, okay, I'm good, right? And then I look, and it says 42 out of 43 on Midgard. And every single place on that map I looked, it said 100%, 100%, 100%. And I started freaking out. I was like, oh no, am I glitched? Did I get it and just did not count?
Oh,
and
man.
It ended up being, I forgot the name of the place. I think it's Burry's Stronghold or something. It's a small island, but if you don't hover over it at the right exact point on the map, it won't pop up.
Okay.
So I was I guess just missing it. But
yeah, there's some Ravens that there was one in Midgard that you would miss because it does fly around. I wish the smallest critique is maybe just make them flap their wings a little bit and not. Yeah, I feel you. Though. I feel you.
No, speaking about small critiques, it is to me it's a masterpiece. It's one of the most perfect games I've ever played. But going back and trying to find all the Ravens and using the doorways, I wish it was a little bit faster. And I know that's such a nitpicky, entitled type of statement, but going to the door and then running until the other door pops up and then going through that door, and if you go to the wrong spot or you can't find it, or in my case, trying to get back the way you know how to the witch's house.
Okay.
And then realizing you have to find another way to get there than you previously did. It was a little unintuitive, I guess I would say. But that's such a small gripe.
Scheme of things.
Exactly. It was such a great experience.
Is there any other games that you've?
No, that was it. The Valkyries, especially the last one, kicked my ass for a long time.
I gotta say, a hell of a lot of fun. Seriously, that game is so good. I made a video about it. Kyle, if you want a good cry, people have told me they've cried during this video.
I was going to wait until I was alone to watch, because I kind of figured this much.
Oh, yeah. It's a tearjerker. Bad Big Games. It's the whole video is about... It's pretty much my impressions in the first half, and then the second half is here's why this game's amazing. And here's why. And in the most unspoiler way ever. I try to make it so it's vague, but you get the gist of where I'm trying to get at. And yeah, God of War is by far, it's not even close. It's not a game for everyone. If people say oh, I'm not into it, it sucks. I always tell them, wait, get to Mimir, and then, and that's not a spoiler, he's in the trailer. So and then the game's really gonna take off. Once you really build that skill tree, oh crap, man. So
I would even say when you get the compass,
Yeah.
Like that was something I was like, oh shit, I've been playing for 12 hours and I just now getting a compass. Oh wow, okay, I'm ready.
And yeah, no. So I've been playing a little God of War. I've also been playing because you know what? We need to give. I did this before, and I gotta do this. I really have. I played a little bit of Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and I say this
Okay.
and I mention this because I need to take a shot at the Xbox Drive every time I have to. Right? They want to pretend they're only playing Xbox, but there's no games there. Right? They're like, oh, like Sean be like, oh, Dave, what did you play? Oh, I didn't play anything. I fucking hate games. Why are we doing this podcast? And then like Sean's like, I bought a McDonald's coffee and Game Pass is amazing. And I just need to say, I played Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and I'm not gonna censor it just because it's another brand. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this, pretty good game, pretty
Nice.
good. And then I've been playing the main thing because again I'm now getting out of finals, so I couldn't go back into God of War, though I will later this week. Because I am platting that game. That game has to be platinumed. It just has to. So for me, I've been playing a lot of Fortnite, which is exactly our first topic of the day.
Surprise, surprise! Joe's playing Fortnite.
You know, it really isn't at this point. So I bring up Fortnite, and it seems like every podcast, everything, constantly, every single week, because Epic does so much for this game. It's insane. It's like every
And
week there is something new coming
and
out for
this
this
week
game.
it's something really cool.
Oh my god, yes.
It's really cool.
So what? Like last week we had season 4 arriving. Now we have one of the, they say that Marvel Infinity Wars, Avengers Infinity Wars, was the greatest crossover, the most ambitious crossover in history. Well, hold Fortnite's beer because Infinity War is invading Fortnite in the scheme of Thanos is in Fortnite with the gauntlet, with all the stones, and it's a special game mode. And it's just called, I think it's called Infinity Crisis, and
That's
it
cool.
is so awesome. Pretty much the whole objective of this game mode is Thanos is in the world, or actually the glove drops down on the world. Right, the circle is smaller. The storm will kill you almost instantly if you're in it, so you have to be in that circle. And what you'll see is this thing come from the sky and crash land on the ground, and it's the gauntlet with all the stones. And when you tap square on it, bam, you swing up into the air, literally instantly, and you become Thanos. And everybody, you're shown on the map, so everybody can see you. But the caveat is you have 600 health, you have 600 shield, and you are a fucking wrecking ball of destruction. It
Do you
is
have
awesome.
control over the different powers of Thanos?
There is about 3 different powers.
Okay.
So there's one where the way they make him balanced is his main attack is a fist, right? It's just him
Okay.
punching, and it's not he doesn't have the longest arch, and it's actually kind of short. It's kind of like more like a shotgun, if anything. So
Okay.
you can last if you're fully shield about maybe 1, 2, 3 hits with the or three about 3 or 4 hits with
The
full
punch.
everything. Yeah,
Okay.
with the punch. Then he has something where he has a laser beam, and then he has something where he jettisons in the air. It's just his A. You know how you jump in the air? A.
Yep.
Oh God, what is this?
Uh,
X. When you jump up in the air in Fortnite, right? He actually charges it for a while so that he's vulnerable. But when he does, he swings up into the air, he floats, and then you can do 2 things. You can use your laser that you have
Mhm.
as one of the gauntlet's powers, or you can just send your fist crashing down into the ground and just it's a one shot. It's game over.
Nice.
And this mode is awesome. It reminds me of Friday the 13th. Like
Oh,
one of
with
those.
everyone's trying to kill Jason.
But the twist is everybody's also trying to kill each other.
Mm.
So so 100 people are still dropping, right? It's not like he gets to, click his fingers together and bam, half the people are dead. No.
Which
The-
would be cool. That'd be a cool addition.
It's cool when you think about it, like for the briefest second, but then all of a sudden, if you're just walking and then all of a sudden your character's like, I don't feel good, and then just boom dies, and you're in the loading screen, that's not rewarding for you. You know what I'm saying?
That, that's true. Yeah.
So for me, having half the half the population would be a no go. Everybody still drops on the ground. All the weapons as well. There's only, from what I've seen so far, blues, purples, and yellow weapons. So they're all rare and higher, and that makes it so
That
that
kind of makes sense.
yeah, you have a chance against Thanos. And so what I usually let people do is I hide, I find someone, kill someone, take their really good weapons. Like I always end up getting a gold star,
Hmm.
and then I hunt Thanos. I make sure we're around 30 people left, and then that's when I start hunting Thanos. I go after him. Okay?
Nice.
And I have fought Thanos twice.
Hmm.
Okay? And he looks at me, he turns around, and he's like, Mr. Badbit. And I'm like, how do you know my name? He's like, because we're both burdened with great knowledge. And, and then I'm like, I'm just like, I'm stoned, I'm shocked.
Hmm.
And he's just like, I hope they remember you. And I'm like, I hope they remember you, motherfucker, because I'm taking you out. I took Thanos out to dinner. I took him out for brunch. And I got Thanos pregnant. I kicked his ass
Whoa.
twice.
Nice.
Thrice. The first time was really awesome because it was a legit battle. I had two portaforts, and like I would just constantly, right when he's about to strike, I throw him onto the ground. So I would go into the air. It was the coolest thing ever. I went into the air as he's crashing down, and then I land and I start shooting him again. And then he's like, "You motherfucker!" And he comes to swing at me, and I just throw my other portafort down, and then now he's getting pissed off, and he does the jump again. He crashes down, and then I shoot him. I run out of ammo with my assault rifle, and then he's just like walking up to me. I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I pulled out my shotgun, and I was like, "Bam, bam," and bam, he's dead. I'm like, my God, it's happened. And I became Thanos, and I just annihilated. I hunted people down.
So is that what happens? If you kill him, you can pick up the gauntlet?
That's exactly what happens.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
You become Thanos now. And what happens is the one thing a lot of people go after the gauntlet first, don't do that. Wait till some dum dum has killed half the people. Wait till you have good guns. Go after him. And as long as you know how to maneuver your guy, Thanos is easy to beat because Thanos is all about momentum. If he's running, he's fast, but once he stops, he takes a little bit to pick up. So you want to make sure more than half the cast is out, and then that's a reference. And then you
Yeah, slight spoilers if you haven't seen the movie. So
I mean,
far.
come on, it's made $1 billion. You
Yeah.
know, people are gonna die. What do you expect? I mean, I didn't expect Jon Snow dying right in the middle, you know. So
Very true.
he's like, oh, the thing is like, you don't know nothing, Jon Snow, and then bam, sucker punching him. But no, he's all about momentum. So if he stops, he has to build it up again. So Thanos is overpowered for sure, but he's supposed to be. And
Yeah.
so you just and at the same exact time, if people decide to cooperate with each other, and I've betrayed plenty, my friend. Don't
I was
work with
gonna
me.
ask.
I will fucking kill you.
Have you had like an Avengers team up against Thanos yet? Or
No. I'm a one man team. I'm a lone wolf.
oh, okay.
I'm the
All
white
right.
wolf. Yeah.
The White Wolf.
And yeah, no, I won one game, and it actually counts as a victory royale, which is really awesome. And then right before we were on, I was like, let me just get a few games in, whatever. I did bad the first 2 rounds. Usually I don't even get to Thanos. Someone just shoots me twice. And I was like, all right, third time's a charm, whatever. Yeah, I'm just here to pass time, make sure we get to the show. Holy crap. I kicked Thanos' ass again. And he was like, I knew he was upset. I sensed it. And yeah, no, at the end of the day, there's this one guy who was actually posing a threat, and I couldn't get to him because he was so far away that at the end of the match, because I knew he was a spec ops chick, I fought him and I fucking killed him. The best thing about it when you win as Thanos is you actually still have all the animations everybody else does, which means
Oh, okay.
you could do all the dances.
That's
I
pretty cool.
I did the best mate dance. I did the worm as Thanos. Oh my god, it's awesome. The only bummer of this news story and of this whole collaboration is that there are no skins to
Mm,
this game, which sucks. But to me
yeah.
personally, I can understand it because you don't want Iron Man associated with like guns that do look real.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
so I understood that. It just sucked, and I thought, what better way we start the show than asking this one simple question?
Hmm.
You know that Shuhei Yoshida runs PlayStation. He
Yep.
runs it all. Whatever his badge says, it's totally arbitrary. He runs PlayStation. He runs Sony. Hell, I bet he has a stake or two in Epic. So if I was Shu, what would we do for these Marvel skins? What skins would you want to see?
Mm.
And I'm gonna take the obvious ones out. No
Yeah.
Iron Man, no Spider Man. You
Okay.
have to think out of the box here.
And I've got one. I'm ready to go.
Oh, okay. If you were Shu, who are we adding into the game?
Probably something that she would do because he's not as popular as some of the other heroes. But give me Korg. Give me a Korg skin from Thor Ragnarok, Mr. Rockman himself with this, and he's got to have Meeks with him. It's got to
Oh,
be a buddy. It's got to be a buddy type of skin.
absolutely.
With the accent and everything. Like I want it.
This is my buddy Meek.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yes,
Plus, he also uses a gun in the movie,
that is true.
so it could
Okay,
work.
I have a character that I would like to see. All right, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Nick Fury.
Oh, yeah.
I think that one's easy. I think that's like awesome to have. Just having a dude with an eye patch with an awesome cloak,
Yep.
easy to do. We've seen him shoot guns. We've seen
Yep.
him shoot rocket launchers. It's not far fetched.
Yeah.
That's my actually my number one pick is Nick Fury. But every time he dies, he's like motherfucker. He rages every time he dies. He rages for you, and every time he kills someone, he does a line from another movie. So like every time like he kills someone, he has an emote that goes like, "Does Marcel Wallace look like a bitch?"
I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes.
And then like one of his emotes is just this whole entire speech. Oh god, that's an angry motorcycle outside. He had the whole entire speech to Deep Blue Sea.
Oh,
And then
yes.
the emote is actually a shark and he eats him. And then there's one there he has a Shaft skin because why not? So
Yeah,
yeah, okay, that's my one. Nick Fury.
that's a good one.
Do you have another one?
It'd be cool if along with the skin they could add like a certain perk of a character.
Okay.
Because I would love to see Star-Lord. And part of the perk I was thinking of, like, what if he had those boots where he could, like, the jet-powered boots, and he could boost around and stuff?
Yeah, they do have a skin that's similar to Star Lord.
Okay.
I would love to see. I forget what it's called. It's more like Mad Max meets Guardians of the Galaxy, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
But I like that. I think his name's Rust Lord, actually. Now that I
Oh,
think about
that's
it.
weird.
But yeah, I would love that, and he comes with his own emote. How about instead of boots, because that would make the game broken. How about he he dances?
Oh,
The same
I
dance
think
from
that's
the
a
original.
given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now here's the tricky one, right?
Yep.
Can't do Rocket Raccoon.
I was
Couldn't do it.
thinking about him, because that would be pretty cool, too. Just a tiny little raccoon running around.
Oh, absolutely. I would love the next one is one of my favorite characters in the MCU. The Winter Soldier.
Mm.
For sure. I think just the way he looks alone blends himself perfectly or lends himself perfectly to Fortnite. Just the robotic arm. I would love to have him. I think his best look is the Winter Soldier, where he has the mask
Yeah.
and you can choose if you want the mask on or off.
Yeah, like before he's revealed as Bucky, even though we kind of all knew that it was Bucky.
And I think every single one of them should come with their own emote. So I'm really digging like his emote is the thing with the knife from oh my god, that scene with the knife.
That'd be awesome.
Holy crap. Let me
You know,
tell you
he
something.
actually like learned that. He
Mm-hmm.
spent a long time like just playing with the knife so he could know the feel of it until it became like natural.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely him. What would be your last one? Gotta do
Last
just three.
one.
Just three.
Loki.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
because again, I'm thinking perks because the perks would be cool.
Hmm.
If Loki can replicate himself, make decoys.
I like this idea. Are we
Yeah.
gonna get like? But what look are we gonna give Loki? Because he's been through so
Oh,
many.
I think you got to
With
have
the
the
horns.
helmet. You
Yeah.
got to have the horns. That's Loki personified right there.
Okay.
Um, green, like the green robes,
Yeah.
golds, yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Or I would also do, but it is too simple. His him and Thor Ragnarok. Excellent.
Hmm.
Excellent. My last one is honestly the best Avenger. He
Oh,
doesn't need the spotlight because he doesn't want it. You know, he's killed. And he's the most proficient one, and he doesn't get enough credit. Hawkeye.
okay.
Yeah. And every time you try to take him out, instead he's with his secret family.
Either way, there's a new part on the map, and it's just the Barton family farm with the house, and his wife is in the barn working on the tractor.
Right? And like you just see some guy just ripping fucking wood like an
The
animal.
it would be pretty cool if you play as Hawkeye and you're running around Fortnite and you see a crossbow and you just like Psh, I don't want that. That's
And yeah, he actually when he carries the only thing is when he carries a crossbow, it's actually worth a damn. I love it. They took crossbows out of the game, man. It makes me
Oh, did they? I didn't
yeah.
realize. It's been a while.
Not a lot
Right.
of people liked him, I guess. To me, I
Mm,
loved him. I loved him. I was real good at him. But
yeah.
yeah, these kids today, they don't know what we know. Hey, Kyle, listen.
Yeah.
Last week we met Finals Joe, right? He's the worst.
Okay,
I wanna I I I wanna ask you a question.
I
God
want to
of War.
answer a question.
Okay, good. Also, Finals Joe just left the building because I just completed my last final, and I'm good as gold. This one right here, God of War, is the fastest selling PlayStation 4 game ever. Did we cover that last week?
I believe we were. I think we talked about how great the sales were going, but I don't
Okay.
know if it was selling yet.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna reiterate for
Sure,
everybody
because
out
it's
here.
worth noting because
It
it's
is.
awesome.
Holy crap! God of War 4 has sold 3.1 million units. Not in its first week, not in the first 3 weeks, in the first 3 days. 3 days.
Insane.
How awesome is that, man?
That's pretty awesome.
And yeah, I think we were talking about this because we're talking about Labo, and I went on a rant.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, no, I just want to give it up to Corey Barlog and his
And
team,
Santa Monica.
dude, absolutely killing it. Thank you guys so much for putting out just such a masterpiece of a game, man.
And you deserve all the praise you're getting and
Yeah.
enjoy it. Enjoy the time off. I'm very happy that we're not getting DLC for this.
So I got a question. This does lend to a new question I just thought
Okay.
of. So this proves that single player games are dead, right?
No, not at all.
Why not? Why not? Everybody said it
Fine.
was, man.
Yeah, everyone said it was, and I think I might have made this point last week. God of War was trending on Twitch
Mm-hmm.
because people were tuning in to watch someone play a single player game on a multiplayer centric viewing platform.
Isn't that crazy?
It's beautiful.
And I love when they were telling this to Corey Barlog, right? He was just like, I'm not hip with new technology. People had to explain to me
Yeah,
what Twitch
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Dude, like that's yeah, like if there anything is proven, I think as long as you have a good product and it's
Mhm.
marketed right, anything's possible.
Yeah.
Like Far Cry 5, though it has multiplayer elements, nobody's really wanting to play the multiplayer. That's actually not the reason why people are playing at all. It's the highest selling game of this year so far.
Hmm.
Right behind it is God of War. That's another single player game.
Yeah.
You know, and I think with games like Monster Hunter that also sell well, it still has a strong focus of single player. So to me, seeing these games, I think what people are really thirsty for isn't multiplayer. They're just thirsty for good ideas and they're thirsty for good games. That's what
Yes.
it is. I think like
Yep.
Warmind came out today. Destiny Warmind as of this podcast. Who gives a shit? Because Destiny's ruined our trust, right? To me, I'm just like I'm not going back to this game. Whatever,
Hmm.
I'm done with it. And now when I'm thinking of God of War, I'm like, man, I need to. I'm thinking about restarting that game and playing it again.
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes to show, man, amazing. Next piece of news, right here, Battlefield 1's first DLC is free on Xbox, PC, wait for it, also is free on PlayStation 4. Now, I got a question for you here. When it comes to EA, we got a question from Mr. Moody, the glorious one himself. We mentioned him before. He asked a question about EA and E3, but I want to change the question a little bit because we are going to talk about E3 very soon. So I want to hold off all the E3 questions. But what do you think EA needs to do at this point to try to get the public back on their side? Because Battlefront just came out, or kind of not just came out. Sorry, their new implementation of microtransactions have come out. This
Hmm.
push for DLC, free DLC for Battlefield 1, is this a way to try to garner back good public feelings of EA? What do you think they need to do in 2018 to show people that they're changing?
Yeah, I think this stuff is definitely a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's a way to say, hey, kind of like, hey, we fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like we heard you loud and clear. Here's some small changes. Here's
Right.
some being free. Kind of a way like saying thanks for still playing, and here's a little small token of our appreciation.
Mm.
In terms of getting us like fully back on the bandwagon, I think their E3 show will definitely have a lot to do with it.
Right.
Um, Very much just show us the games, show us that you're committed to them,
Mm-hmm.
and not rely on internet personalities or old sports people. I say that like I'm not a sports fan, but like I don't need to see a soccer legend come out and talk very awkwardly for 10 minutes. I want to see like a Bethesda type of conference from EA.
Yeah.
Show us the games, hit us hard with them. You know what I mean?
And I think at this point, what you need to state right off the bat, I think the most important thing is follow, have a plan and execute it. And I think when you announce games like Anthem,
Hmm.
when you drop that date for Anthem or spring, you need to make sure because Anthem, it seems like BioWare is putting all their chips in this basket.
Yeah.
They need to make sure and make it aware that the DLC for this game is only cosmetic
Hmm.
or just not at all. Like you need to make sure that people know, hey, listen, we understood, we heard. If they are going to do something like at the stage on E3, they need to go. Okay, listen, guys, we heard. We heard you loud and clear with Battlefield or Battlefront 2. We messed up. We done
Hmm.
guffed.
Yeah.
Here's how we're gonna make it better. And then when you announce Anthem, you go, here's our plan for our DLC right off the bat. There is no plans for everything in this game. It's a complete game. We are
Hmm.
not selling you this game a hollowed experience. Every DLC that we have planned is after the game's launch,
Yeah.
right? after we make sure that there's content in this game and all the DLC that to fund it is purely cosmetic. And I think they need to hammer that notion home and then actually execute on it, because nobody trusts you anymore, EA.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this, we talked about it back in March when we were talking about, EA and how we felt about them. Is, look, when we were talking about A Way Out, we were just like, yeah, they say that now. Like they say, yeah, they made no money on it, but I bet the next game they're gonna try to squeeze something. Like still, these little things of good hope. They're just in such piss poor shape that they really need to take a look in the mirror, because they look at themselves like the CEO said, and we look at ourselves differently than the public does, and we need to change that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what they really need to do. They need to really look themselves in the mirror and just really self-evaluate, get a plan out there, get your PR teams, get your marketing teams out there, tell people what you've learned.
Yeah.
And make sure people know it's not going to happen again.
And especially with the games that they're working on, I don't want them to like half-ass them, Like I felt like Mirror's Edge Catalyst was like a half-ass job. They just threw it together because
we heard
fans
the nerds wanted it.
Yeah, heard the nerds wanted it. So here it is, and then kind of blame us for not buying it.
Yeah.
Like blame us for why it's not successful.
Yeah. In that game, it is pretty, from what I understand, a pretty mixed bag. It's a lovely game.
And even like the franchises like Need for Speed, the quality has drastically been declining every single installment. Just stick to what made Need for Speed great and work from there, not instead of trying to reinvent the wheel every single time.
Please stop making Need for Speed games.
Or that, take a little while off. I don't know.
Yeah, please take time off. Please. We don't need a Need for Speed every year. God,
bring back EA Big. Give me SSX.
Oh my God. What if that's their initiative? We're going to bring back old games. We're going to bring back old titles.
If they come out on the E3, it's like, hey, SSX is coming back. I'm all in.
All right.
All in.
All right. I've never played an SSX game.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They're so good.
I played it at a friend's house, but I never owned it.
Gotcha.
So, I'm interested.
They were fun.
Yeah. What if it's just a remaster?
I'm okay with that.
You're like, I don't give a shit. Just give it to me.
Again, EA, you have get on the bandwagon with remasters. They're good for gaming. Ooh. Stop being stuck up. Don't want to do remasters. Don't want to put money into it to remake games that we already made. Yeah. We want it. We're clamoring for it. Or at least most of us are wanting it. So do it.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. You won't, EA. You won't.
You won't do it.
Square Enix, talk about companies that are going to announce big things and those things never show up for about 10 years.
Yeah.
They've announced that they're going to be at E3 Monday, 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This one's a lot to unpack.
Because it came out of nowhere. I was not expecting a Square Enix conference this year.
Yeah, they skipped out last year. And then the year before that, the only thing to mention was the creative director of Nier and how awesome this guy is. Look him up. Look up creative director of Nier. You'll understand perfectly why this guy fucks. With that said, Square Enix announced that their E3 plans Monday, 10 a.m. We're gonna get the Kingdom Hearts announcement, right?
I think that's the big reason for it. It's got to be, right? Because I was thinking, what else would they have to warrant a full conference?
Yeah, that's my big question too.
Because I'm thinking Tomb Raider is most likely going to be on Xbox.
Oh, you think they're going to be on the Xbox?
I do think they'll be on Xbox stage.
Okay.
Well,
do you not think they're going to be though? They're going to like, here's another trailer or something?
Like double dip?
Yeah.
They could. But I don't think they'll squarely be or solely just be on Square Enix for the conference. Okay. I think they'll be on one of the others. You got hopefully Kingdom Hearts. If they say anything about Final Fantasy VII Remake, I think that's going to be on Sony's stage.
Okay, yeah,
I
it
don't think
has
they
to.
I
Yeah.
don't think they save it for Square Enix. And then the other big one that I could see an update on is the Avengers game.
Ooh, and see, here's the deal. I totally forgot about that game. Right?
Yeah,
It's been so long since we heard an
I
announcement. It was pretty
believe it
much just a
was.
logo.
Isn't that Crystal Dynamics?
It is Crystal. It is Crystal working on it.
So I think we get an update there, which makes me super excited because I would
Okay.
love to see what that game looks like. And it makes sense, kind of like building on the buzz of Infinity War, get
Mm,
some more Avengers stuff out there.
yeah.
And then do we see a Deus Ex, a new Deus Ex? I also think maybe we get some announcements of ports of the games to like Switch.
Oh, absolutely.
So like near Final Fantasy 15.
You think Nier's gonna go on the Switch?
I think so.
I think it could. That's a tricky situation
Yeah, but
because I know Nier is an exclusive. I just don't. I don't know if it's a timed exclusive.
hmm
I do know they said that the next Nier game is not going to be a PlayStation exclusive because they make
okay.
too much money off of it.
hmm
So I like to me I lend this to your expertise because I know practically nothing of Square.
Okay.
Like to me, I just know they make Final Fantasy and JRPGs I don't play.
hmm
Do you
Okay.
think? Do you think, with that said, they're gonna try to port uh, Final Fantasy 15 to the Switch?
I do.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try.
Is
Um,
it gonna be the Pocket Edition though?
it, I think probably not. If they could get Wolfenstein and Doom on the Switch
Okay.
and have that run okay, I think they could probably make it work.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Um, and I would be also be through the moon excited if we get a glimpse at 16,
A
but
glimpse of 16,
that might be way too early still.
dude. That is. Well, you know what? This is Square, right? We're talking about.
Exactly, it's Square Enix, so
They
they like to announce
love.
things and then 10 years later, like you said, they come
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I mean, like, if Square Enix was a lover, right? They would be the ones that go, "Oh my god, I can't believe this has happened.
Yeah.
This is the first time, I swear." They
And
always shoot the gun way too fast.
and I would not be shocked because
Mhm.
lately the Square Enix announcements have been a lot like, "Hey, look at this partner of a product we're putting in Final Fantasy 15." I would not be shocked if they do more of that either. Like the ramen, I think they had was
Oh,
a big one.
yeah.
Oh god, wasn't there a Final Fantasy thing in another game?
Oh,
I
oh,
can't remember
oh.
what game it was right now.
Assassin's Creed.
I'm thinking.
Assassin's Creed.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so like I wouldn't be shocked if they have like little things for other franchises and stuff.
Yeah. No, I think I. You know what? You know what? That's crazy, but I think it could work. I also think we gotta stop pretending that final. And I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna trigger a lot of people. Mister
I'm
Unpopular Opinion comes
I'm
in.
ready. I'm holding on.
We gotta stop pretending Final Fantasy 15 is anything but an okay game.
Oh, okay. I haven't played it yet, so I have nothing to say.
Don't even bother. Don't
I
even
have
bother.
to, Joe. I
Why?
have to.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I've played every Final Fantasy except for the online ones. I need to eventually.
Don't do it. Trust me. Don't do it. I trust me. Lucas is gonna try to tell me, "Oh, Joe, it's great. It's great. It's amazing." And I'm like, Lucas, I don't know what you're talking about. It's it's okay. It's great. Cool. It's no game of the year though. You know. Also, I forgot to mention this. Holy
Mhm.
shit! It's been weeks. Congratulations. Wait, did I say this? I don't know.
Yeah.
Finals Joe. The last whole month has been a blur. But congratulations, Ren and Lucas, for they're gonna get married. Congratulations.
Oh,
If I haven't said that,
congratulations.
congratulations.
Yeah.
She got a pretty little rock on her finger now.
Sweet.
With that said, congratulations, but Final Fantasy 15, not a good game. They're like, well, that guy's not gonna get invited to our wedding. With that said, let's talk about Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, really quick, Joe.
Yes.
Do you think it's odd that we have not seen PlayStation give a time and day yet for their conference? Speaking of E3, Square Enix came out of nowhere and said Monday, 10 a.m. We know Xbox is on Sunday. We know EA is on Saturday or Sunday.
Sure.
Bethesda's Saturday night, I think. Why do we not have a Sony time yet?
Listen, Shu is a methodical man.
Mm-hmm.
He is 10 steps ahead of everyone here. So I got a question. Yeah, we'll make this a if I was shoe mini question.
Okay.
What day do you think they're coming out? Because it's always Monday night, right?
It's usually always Monday night, but I think at this point we're a month away, almost.
Yeah, but I don't think it matters, to be honest.
Okay.
Because to me, I'm like, the day's gonna happen no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna skip E3. Sony loves E3.
Oh yeah, I'm not implying that they would ever skip E3.
Yeah, because that's where they where they took Xbox's lunch and they just fucking ate it right in front of them. They love doing it, and I think they're just trying to see where everybody's falling first. If I think there's so many. How do I say this with words? I think when we talk about these things, there's so many moving parts that we as consumers we just don't see. I think they already have a day, but they're in no rush to make any announcements as of right now. If they
Okay.
don't already have a day, I bet they're locking in on when it's happening.
Yeah.
I think Sony does a really great job of looking what everybody else is doing, especially their
Mm-hmm.
competition, and seeing how they can stand out. That's why I think Xbox did something really smart with this E3. Usually they're in Monday mornings, and Sony closes it out, and Sony just takes all the oxygen out of the room, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
With Xbox being on Sunday, now they can announce all those services with no games, and oh, it stinks, Sean Capri. Hi, Xbox. Make some games. Here's something real funny. I just gotta stop it right here. Everybody's real excited because Xbox just bought a AAA studio, or they're making a AAA studio in Northern California. And I'm like, that's great. Yeah, and everybody was really excited for what Rare had up their sleeves. They were going to call it the second coming, and what did we get? So, guys, don't count your chickens, please. For the love of God. Even if this was Sony, I was like, yeah, they bought a studio. This isn't news. Anyway, with that said,
Yeah.
yeah, they're in no rush. They really are. They're just
I think the reason why I asked that question is
yeah.
I'm so anxious because they know how crazy the day is when they do. If you don't know, if you're listening to this, PlayStation puts on E3 experiences in movie theaters throughout the country.
Oh shit, yeah.
And I've gone the last couple of years. If you watch the YouTube videos from PlayStation, you'll see this mug in the thumbnail.
Yeah, buddy.
It's a very cool experience to go to a giant movie theater screen and cheer along and get hype with PlayStation fans in the theater.
That's so
And
awesome.
I know when they announce those days or those theaters, it's like a mad rush to get tickets, and so I'm like a little nervous because I don't want to miss it because it's a great time.
Yeah. No, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that, but sadly, I'm gonna probably be streaming and then immediately making a video afterwards, putting it out there, and then wanting to die, waking up real early and doing the same thing I did.
Maybe you can have like a live looking at me in the theater. I'll just prop my phone up.
Yeah, if you wanted to be like, hey, this is my experience, we could make a mini episode about it. Like,
Oh, sweet.
Fat Man on Batman does this a lot. Kevin
Okay.
Smith's podcast, which God almost tried to take him a few weeks ago. Listen
Oh.
here, all right? Don't you dare do that.
No.
Kevin Smith is a saint.
Yes, he is.
But yeah, no, they do this thing every time they watch a movie. They have like 5 minutes each of like what they thought, and then they can bind it together and they make a video out of it. We should do that for the trophy room.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, if you get tickets, yeah, that'd be sick. So with that said, yeah, no, I just don't think they're in any rush. But I love that sense of camaraderie of like, hey, we have something special, right? Like I feel like Sony's finally got that in the past few years of like, you know what? PlayStation's more than just a brand. It's a community.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it sounds weird, but a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, everybody, because it's just such a community that they've been able to really get down. Like they have their own little conventions at PSX, and these little things, that's really cool. I would love to see, and I don't know if Microsoft already does this, but how about you have Microsoft stores? How about you give people an excuse to go there, and
Yeah.
you have these huge screens in your stores? I see them all the time. Get people in there. Get them talking about Xbox. Get them pumped.
Yeah.
You know, your fans are looking there at any excuse. Nintendo does it every what is it?
Every month.
every month. Yeah, but like
Yeah.
they do it with Best Buy every time they partner up with Best Buy and they have a tournament in their Best
Yeah.
Buys, and that's where I get to kick little kids' ass and like go like, "Is that your mom? Yeah. Hey, Sharon, you raised a loser."
Even the Nintendo
Yeah.
store in New York City does a lot of cool stuff too.
Yes, that's where I got to play Mario Odyssey. They're
Yep.
like this Monday, and I got to play it. I waited on a line for like 2 hours, but it was worth it. You know, again,
Going back to that game you showed that you were playing, Tropical Freeze.
yeah, we're not
If
going
you
to
bought
censor
it,
it here. We're not
if you
afraid.
if you bought it at the store in Manhattan,
Yeah.
you got Funky Kong's bandana as like a thing. If you if you bought it there,
Hey, did you buy an overpriced port and travel to New York City?
it's worth it.
Here's a bandana.
Here's a token.
Oh my goodness gracious, Jesus! You know, at least when we look, if I could be just a little vain, at least when we do remasters, we overhaul them from the ground up. Oh boy, no. But with that said, though, I do like Donkey Kong. This is my.
Yeah.
Did I tell you this is my first Donkey Kong game
No.
ever in my
Oh,
life?
okay.
That's why I didn't mind spending the $60. I was like, whatever,
Nice.
first time. You know, I need an excuse to dust off this thing. The Vita 2 is what I call it. But yeah, no, it's awesome. Yeah, that's real rad. Go get those tickets, Kyle. Our next bit of news is actually our last bit of news. Game Informer's new cover is of Days Gone, and they have a few snippets from the producers of the game, and they want to make sure and they had a little video. Go out there, check it out on Game Informer's website. It's literally on the front page. But they're like, I love the messaging. We hear what people are saying. This is not your typical zombie game. And they have right now, Game Informer, the cover is Days Gone, but they have a month of exclusive content coming as well. So they're going to be covering Days Gone throughout the month and reporting on it, just like they did with Spider-Man and I believe God of War. They had covers and exclusive deals with that. This news actually gets me really excited, Kyle,
Yeah, it should.
because to me, like I've been telling you, I'm like not excited. I mean, to me, I'm still worried because it does look a little bit like Last of Us.
It does have that vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, because tattered clothes, I guess, and people being real sad and malnourished. But yeah, no, to me, hearing just them going, we get it. We know we look like The Last of Us, but trust us, give us a chance. And there was a little snippet of gameplay. The one thing I really liked is that they do show you it's an open world. You're on your motorcycle, and there's a horde of zombies. You make this cool like 180 turn, and you just fucking run over one of their shins, and you just like, boop, and then you just go straight. It was awesome. What do you think about this news, Kyle? Because I know you're really excited.
I'm very excited because I think I might be a little bit higher on the game of Days Gone than I think most people.
Yeah.
I love the concept of it. I like what I've seen so far. I'm just so ready for another post-apocalyptic type of game from Sony. I love that. I just looked it up while you were describing what was in the cover. Jabbing around. And so far in 2018, Game Informer has chosen 3 PlayStation exclusive games to be on the cover.
Isn't that something?
God of War February, Spider-Man now
April, yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got Days Gone in May. That's pretty impressive.
So I got a question that goes along with that.
Yeah.
And this comes from an old boy named Sean Capri.
Oh, hi, Sean.
Congratulations. And this goes to our sponsored segment, the Xbox Drive. We're going to kick it into overdrive. We got to acknowledge
is this the Say Something Nice About Xbox segment?
Sure. So we're going to kick it into overdrive, right? Don't pop the e-brake. Just go as fast as you can. Run every red light. Okay? Don't wear your seatbelt. If you can, and if you have a loved one, you try to like kind of wave them out the window. Please don't just go straight ahead. Don't follow the signs and go as fast as you can. All right? You're invulnerable. You're never going to die. Trust me. Go as fast as you can. Live life to the fullest. That's what Sean Capri told me to say. Anyway, with that said, though, little Sean, and also congratulations, Sean, on the baby. Sean's pregnant.
Yes,
Um,
congratulations.
he has a question. Okay, he goes, magazines are dead, aren't they? Yet Game Informer cover stories are a huge deal. How has Game Informer survived and even thrived as a magazine? What happened? Why do we care about Game Informer covers so much? As a side question, does anyone care about IGN First, sort of website equivalent of the magazine cover story? So I think we could both agree. I think magazines are pretty dead, right?
They're pretty dead.
Yeah.
This is the only magazine I still get in the mail.
Right. So why is this a huge deal, Kyle?
Why is the cover story a huge deal?
Yeah. Why does this get so much traction? I guess. Or why do we make such a big deal out of it as
Yeah,
gamers?
I think it's just a deep dive into something that we don't know yet, and especially if it's a game that we have questions on. I think it's fun to read about it and try to answer some of those questions.
Yeah, I think like when he goes magazines are dead. I was actually looking up the subscription base of Game Informer because a lot of it is you get it from GameStop.
Yeah.
It's part of the GameStop card type of thing.
Hmm.
And I was just looking at the numbers of 2013 alone. There's over 10 million people that get this magazine every single month.
Yeah.
So and that's with digital and physical. So these things are still printing. They're still doing just fine as long as GameStop's alive. Game Informer really has nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
So just because of the install base alone, 10 million people, to get something in the mail every single month and make you look for just a second, and whether that is whatever, toss it. But someone's gonna look at that and go, huh. All right, let me see, and let me put this in the bathroom when I'm taking a Duke. I'll Sean Capri loves the toilet humor. And you read it, right? You're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, literally, and you're like, you're reading and you're having a good old time, and you forgot to wipe your butt, but like you read it and you're like, I like this, and
Yeah.
and bam, you have a customer, and you'll tell your friends you saw it somewhere else, but where you saw it. So I
Plus,
think
it goes back to like when I was in school. I would bring the latest Game Informer in, and I would sit at the lunch table. We would all look at the games and
yeah.
and fanboy out about them.
Yeah, and I also think Game Informer. Then his next bit of question is, how has Game Informer survived and even thrived as a magazine? I think the main reason is because they are owned by the largest game retailer, right? Like people still get majority of their physical games at GameStop.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason why they've thrived is because GameStop owns them, but also they're really good. Like these guys, dude. I just started listening to the Game Informer podcast.
Oh, I did not know they had a podcast.
Dude, it is first off, thank you, Todd Oxtra. Because I was on Secret Friends Unite one episode, and he was just like, you got to give this a chance, because he was at episode 300, and he's like, you really got to give them a chance. They're really great. And I got like a new position at my job, so I could just listen to podcasts all day. Holy crap! Does it make my day go by so much faster? It's one of and look at me pimping out another podcast, but like they're really good. They
Awesome.
have really great personalities, and they have just really talented folks working there. And I think if this was just at GameStop alone, they wouldn't be worth a damn, because we saw that with Best Buy. They had Edge, right? Was that what it was called?
Yes, I think it was Edge.
Yeah,
that sounds
and that
right.
didn't last, because Game Informer just has a staple of actually being really awesome. Like, yeah, I use my iPad all the time, but I'm still actually at least grabbing the Game Informer and flipping through the pages and actually seeing if I've missed anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think they're trying to give a push for their website. So, yeah.
And to the other part of the question, does anyone care about IGN First? I think when it comes to First, they try to highlight games that aren't really getting a whole lot of the press or a whole
Right.
lot of attention. Like with Game Informer, you're never going to see like a game like Celeste be on the cover of Game Informer.
Right.
It's usually like the bigger games, big blockbuster, or a classic game, like, and they're talking about it.
Yeah.
So IGN first, I actually do enjoy and watch when I can,
I
because
do too.
they usually take smaller games and highlight them. Like I think this month is that the Jurassic Park game,
Yeah.
like the park simulator. There is IGN first, which sounds awesome. I didn't even know that was a thing. Um, so yeah, I think they both can exist, and they both do
Yeah.
different things for everybody.
And I also think it goes into you go even deeper into this, Kyle, and it's
Mhm.
really about how they stay competitive.
Yeah,
Because like, yeah, this is look, they had everybody has to, if you're an actual journalist and you're doing all this website stuff, you have to cite where you got this information. And you have to give that hyperlink as well. And so you give them straight to Game Informer. They're getting clicks like crazy. And that's what, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And when you're able to not just have the exclusive, but control the conversation and give everybody looking at you,
Mhm.
that's so important. Because, yeah, it not only helps you revenue wise for clicks, but you get people that go, wow, I really like this article. I'm going to give them another chance. Like, talking about IGN first, guess what game I saw from IGN first and completely sold me on why I was getting this game? Bloodborne.
Mm.
Bloodborne, they had an exclusive first month in February, right before the game's announced, and I saw that artwork, and I was just like, I'm in. This looks
Yeah,
fucking awesome. And ever since, yeah, I still like not like every single month, but I'm always checking to see because you don't know what's inside. So I think
yeah,
to me, it's just a terrific way of them. This is how they compete with each other. It's just getting all eyes on them. It's
yeah.
awesome. So yeah,
Plus, Game Informer, the artwork on the covers are really good.
oh my
They're so
god,
beautiful. The Spider-Man, I think it was Alex Ross, was it not? Or
yeah,
it,
I believe so.
gorgeous.
Dude, that is one of the best covers. And like, yeah, I can't even picture what was the last. And this is a question to the audience. When was the last Game Informer cover that you just hated, that you just weren't into? I can't even remember one. I'll be honest. I love that Spider-Man one. That Spider-Man one, if I'm not mistaken, it is my cover of
Oh,
of my iPhone. I love it so
that's
much.
awesome.
Oh, so great. So yeah, that's all we got for this week here at the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. It was a slow news week, but I'm so happy that we're doing these now every single Wednesday. Because if we had to do this last night, Kyle,
Mm.
this would not have been a good show. I'm gonna let you in on that. But we do have one more piece of viewer mail, and this
Okay.
comes from Bobby Miller. Now, Bobby won our God of War copy, and Bobby was late. You know, he had, while we were talking about Dad of War, he was being the Dad of War. He was being a papa. He had a
Yep.
sick kid. He had to make sure they're okay. And so he missed out. So I made sure that when we reached out to him that I got his back. So I'm like, you take your pick of the next PlayStation exclusive you want. You send me your shipping address. Bam, I got you. Because that's what we do at the Trophy Room. We got each other's back. And
Absolutely.
man, he's being a good papa. How can
Yeah,
you?
exactly. You can't fault him for that. A bunch of wise people, aka my friends, have said, life comes first.
Exactly.
Get that stuff out of the way and take care of your loved ones before any of this fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bobby Miller asked this: will the PlayStation 5 dot dot dot? No, but seriously, I too have struggled with putting off and starting a different slash new game. How do you decide which game to play next? And my second problem is the backlog of games to get
Hmm.
to. All right. So what makes you to go even deeper into this question? The gaming habit. Like, when do you go? Okay, this is my next game.
Yeah, that's a tough question.
It's a real deep one.
It is a deep one. As far as like what I'm buying next,
Hmm.
I usually just if it's on PlayStation and it's either a franchise I've always played, I usually try to pick it up.
Hmm.
I'm one of those early adopters, so even if I don't play it right away, I have that need to be get it day one.
Same here.
Um,
Yeah.
but when it comes to like what type of game I want to play, I no joke, I have like a shelf of some games over here because I'm still a physical game person.
Yeah.
I would just stand there and just look over my games like what's going to scratch that itch for me?
Mm.
Is it going to be an RPG? Do I want to really get lost in a story and do quests? Do I just want some mindless fun playing a sports game or some Resogun, an arcade?
Ooh.
So it just I kind of just stare at my shelf until something like pops up at me.
Yeah. I actually, for me, I'm gonna dissect this. I'm gonna work like a Tarantino movie,
Okay.
ending first, and then we're gonna everything second. I actually don't focus on the backlog. I get to a game when I get to it.
Yeah.
So like I like when people are like I have this this pile of shame. I'm like that's just a pile of games I haven't experienced yet.
Yeah.
And so for me, I do every time I play a game, I play it, man. Like I will play it for a good solid month. I'll make sure I beat it, and then I'm done with it.
Hmm.
Usually, my biggest problem when it comes to playing a game is coming back to that game. That's why like a game has to be like God of War. You know it's really good because I'm going back to it.
Yeah.
I never do that because I'm always on to the next thing.
Hmm.
With that said, it's all about talking or scratching that itch. I can't speak tonight, Kyle. Just slap me a few times.
Oh, Finals Joe is like trying to hold on.
He really is. But no, it's all about finding that game that scratches that itch and just going, you know what? I'm in the mood to do this, that, or the other thing. So like for
Yeah.
me, for God of War, it's like I'm looking at it, I'm interested in it, I'm playing it, I'm beating it. That's my
Yeah.
mission with every single game I buy. So like when I talk about my backlog, I've had a few, but I don't regret not beating them. I don't let that
Hmm.
get to me. So, like, I haven't beaten Monster Hunter, but maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, I beat.
That's another thing. If you're playing a game and you're not constantly thinking about it, like we were constantly thinking about God of War,
Yeah,
it's okay to put it away and play something
yeah.
else. Like you don't have to finish every single game because if that's the case, I wouldn't have. I'm not a gamer then because I
Yeah.
barely finish a lot of my games.
Yeah, like to mention them one more time just for good luck, because you got to mention a Capri 3 times, and then your show will be good. But like Sean was like, I'm not getting into God of War. It's not my thing. I'm not. It's not scratching that itch, and I feel that I've been there too. Like with Horizon, it wasn't doing that for me in the
Hmm.
beginning, and then I played it after E3 because I needed an out. Right? I'm like, you know what? Let me get to this game. Let me give it another shot because I wasn't feeling it, and I fell in love with it. And like that was like I restarted it and I finished it. I loved it. That was my game of the year. So
Hmm.
something doesn't have to click with you immediately,
Yeah.
and that's what my thing is like. I usually don't give up on games much because to me, like Red Dead Redemption took the first 2 or 3 hours for me to go, oh boy, like the first few hours of that game is a drag to me.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, it's all about scratching that itch and also playing those games in the meantime. The filler games. Like you see me mentioning Fortnite every single week. It's
Yep.
because it's such an easy game for after I'm done editing or after I'm done
Yeah.
with school to just pop in, play a few rounds. So like look, I'm waiting for Kyle, so I plug it in, I play a few rounds, I'm Thanos, look at me, right?
Yeah.
Destiny has arrived. So
Because at its core, that is what a video game is.
yeah.
It is playing a game with an outcome, with an objective, and you need those games because, like you said, sometimes you just want to escape reality for a little bit. You don't really want a deep story and worry about managing inventory and all that jazz because that could
Oh,
be work in itself.
oh.
Uh,
So
Sometimes you need the Fortnite, you need a sports game, you need a racing game. Just pop in a racing game, race a couple races, and you're good.
yeah. Also, Bobby Miller also said that don't hate on the PlayStation 4 Pro Star Wars console.
I saw that. Yeah, I'm sorry, Bobby. I can't. I can't. I appreciate you listening,
Yeah.
But somebody pointed it out. I think it was in one of the groups on Facebook I'm in.
Uh-huh.
But it looks like that Pro console is giving you the middle finger.
Just
In
like
the center. It looks like it's giving you the finger.
All right, I get it. I get it. Oh man, but like there's a rumored PlayStation 4 like Spider-Man edition. We're not going to talk about that one, though it looks really pretty because it very well could be a a very good Photoshop.
Yeah.
Because there's one guy on the Podcast Unlocked Facebook group that makes really good, like,
I know exactly who that guy is.
yeah, really good. Like, he just did a black suit version. I'm just like, who's hiring this guy?
Yeah, for real.
Who? So to me, like, I'm not getting my hopes up. But you know what? To me, if you could find a deal, like if you got that PlayStation, as like a deal, like 50% or 50%, that would be amazing. $50 off. I'm not gonna hate you for it.
No.
I'm not gonna hate you for it. So with that said, I want to close the show out with actually two things because when I was looking at it, Brent Johnson asked E3
Hey.
predictions in a few weeks. I was thinking about doing it mid-May, but now that we switched it to Wednesdays, everything's off. So I'm thinking in 2 weeks from this episode, we'll let you know. So let's see right here. Let me make sure that I got this correct.
So the
It would be
23rd?
the 23rd. Yeah, a few days before Detroit Become Human.
Sweet.
Yeah, either the 23rd, or actually, you know what? Let's make it May 30th, because if we do it May, I'm letting you guys know how we workshop things. If we do it on the 23rd, everybody's just gonna be talking about whatever the review score is for Detroit. So the 30th gives us this beautiful window of we could do our impressions of Detroit real fast, and then we could get into E3 predictions.
Mm-hmm.
I think that works.
Absolutely.
With that said, I want to talk about something real serious, if I could, for just a moment, Kyle. I know I've talked a lot this episode, but
No, it's fine.
a few days ago, something magical happened, Kyle.
Uh-oh.
I saw a tweet from Brian Altana,
Oh.
and he was just like, if this image of this game doesn't make you smile, like, I don't know what's wrong with you, or something like that. And it was a picture of Mario 3. Again,
Yep.
we're not going to censor it. We're not children. Looking at you, Dave Moore. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, look above your shoulder. There's some Mario up there.
Yeah, and I tweeted at him, I think like something to the extent of, Super Mario World is better than Super Mario 3.
Oh, no.
Don't at me, bro. And Brian Altana looked at me for a second.
Yeah.
And he's like, I like you, Joe. We're friends. But we're in public, I gotta show my dominance. So he's just like, I like you. I hope you're getting the Office reference.
I am getting it, yeah.
Good. So he replied back to me. And in that moment, Kyle,
Oh.
he's like, I like him. I like World more. And it's something to that extent. And I'm like, he replied to me.
Isn't that a good feeling?
Isn't him passing the baton and saying, you know what? I've been at Beyond for like 2 years now. It used to be the number one PlayStation podcast. We don't know what it is anymore. But what I do know is you're the podcast made by the players for the players. There. So, you know what? We might as well be the number one PlayStation podcast on the internet. # alternative facts. That's our new catchphrase, Kyle.
I like it.
All right, good. That's excellent.
We're the number one on World 2.
Amazing, Kyle. Where can they find you? I know you were a guest on a show.
I am. So this upcoming weekend we're recording. Don't know when it'll go up, but I'm gonna guest on another PlayStation podcast called PS Best Friends. It's a couple kind of funny best friends who styled their PlayStation. I like what's going on here. Styled their PlayStation show after PS I Love You and Beyond. Kind of the same rigmarole, so I'm going to be guesting on there, which is awesome.
Sounds familiar, and I don't like it.
Full disclosure, I made sure it was okay with Joe.
Yeah.
I didn't want to cheat on my work husband.
Aw,
so.
Thank you.
No, it's gonna be a great time, and I'm for sure they're all great guys. Maybe one of them can come on here for an episode. I'll ask them when I'm on there.
If my computer doesn't blow up, I would love that.
Hey,
You
and
know?
then you can find me at Whodat Ninja 73. My kind of funny community podcast, Best Friends Talk Funny, at BFS Talk Funny. It's on iTunes. Go review, rate, share, whatever podcasters tell you to do. Do it for me.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Kyle, I love it. I love it so much. You can find me over at Bad Bit Games on YouTube. That's where you can also find this podcast every single Wednesday on the video format, which, holy crap, last week got a way more views than I thought it was, and that's because it wasn't on iTunes, because the episode fudged up.
Oh, no.
No, I got to work. I was like, oh my God, I hate this. So, so yeah, no, check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on iTunes. Please rate us 5 stars. It does help us out so very much. It helps grow this big, beautiful family that is the Trophy Room. Yeah, every single Wednesday. We're also on any type of platform you listen to podcasts, especially SoundCloud. Go over there because I love that app. I love that website. And yeah, Mr. Badbit at Mr. Badbit on Twitter and at PS Trophy Room. Follow us on Twitter and you get a chance to win a copy of Detroit Become Human.
Ooh.
So,
I can't believe it's 2 weeks away.
Oh, man.
Coming up quick.
Don't tell my wallet that, Kyle.
I'm sorry, Wallet.
With all that said, keep hunting and keep playing PlayStation.